Okay, we gotta talk about the Katy Perry situation. So basically, if you didn't know, Katy Perry and a few other rich celebrities recently went to space for about 5 minutes and then came back. They went on the Blue Origin rocket and are apparently now being called astronauts. Now, it turns out Katy Perry actually went and did a bunch of very cringe interviews saying how this experience somehow changed her life. She starts like kissing the ground once she comes back from a 10-minute flight, talking about how this experience is comparable to being a mom. And people are just confused and angry at this because it's a bunch of rich celebrities essentially just taking a joyride to space, talking about how absolutely brave they are. Meanwhile, there's plenty of people just struggling really badly in this economy, essentially struggling to buy groceries and to pay rent. And then you have a bunch of rich people just throwing away all this money and making it seem like they're somehow saving the human race. Not to mention, out of all the brilliant female minds of our generation, like women who have studied their entire lives in the field of science and have trained for this type of stuff, they chose to send Katy Perry to space. The woman who said, "Is math related to science?"
Is math related to science?
Math is the language of the universe.
Numbers.
So anyways, we're going to check out a bunch of her interviews and a bunch of like celebrity responses and people's responses in general.
Gayle King wipes away a tear as she rides along with Katy Perry and 4 other fellow astronauts to the launch pad. One by one, they ring a bell. Gayle, who has a fear of flying, looks terrified.
This is overcoming a wall of fear, a barrier. I think it's going to be cathartic in so many ways for her.
The all-woman crew joined hands in prayer. Then it's time to climb into the capsule. 9:30 a.m. The rocket soared into space.
Passing through 80,000 feet, 1,300 miles per hour.
Oprah sobbed.
Oprah watching her best friend go to space.
All right, calm down, Oprah. She's not going to die. This isn't remotely dangerous. This is equivalent to a taxi ride in space. Like, if you didn't know, one of the people that actually went on this was Jeff Bezos' own wife. You know, the guy who literally owns the company that made the rocket. So obviously, he would not be sending his own wife into this rocket if he thought it was remotely dangerous. Or maybe he just wants to get rid of his wife. We never know. But don't be fooled by all these like interviews, and essentially the way they're portraying it is like these are these brave people who are essentially testing, you know, space travel for us regular humans, right? You know, they're leading the frontier, you know, taking all these risks, and it's a step for mankind, step for humanity. Like, no, this is literally a rich joyride into space, and essentially they are just having a good time and promoting their company. And might I remind you, it's a 10-minute thing. I literally take shits longer than this.
The women experienced 4 minutes of weightlessness. Katy held up a daisy for the camera.
They are floating, they are weightless, they are experiencing zero G for the very first time in their lives.
Touchdown. Welcome back to Earth.
Amazon founder Jeff Bezos had a little oops moment, face planting while inspecting the capsule.
Even Jeff Bezos can't keep it together. Poor guy literally fell down, laughing, like belly laughing at how much people are falling for this goddamn publicity stunt. You know, he's just like scheming his hands like, oh my god, we're sending an all-woman team to space. People are gonna eat this up. Like, what kind of women? Katy Perry. Not actual women academics or anybody who's in the freaking field. I guess one of them was a rocket scientist, but that's not a very good ratio. And also, nobody has mentioned that ever. I had to go out of my way to actually find that out. Can you imagine being someone who worked their entire life for this, essentially studying and training every day for years and years and years, only to have your spot being taken by Katy Perry, the absolute neighborhood clown, who has an understanding of science at about the 2nd grade level. Anyways, after they get back, they start like licking the ground.
His fiancée, Lauren Sanchez, was the first one out. Gayle raised her hands to the heavens.
I just have to have a moment with the ground.
She got on her hands and knees
Let me just appreciate the ground for just a second.
and kissed the earth. Katy raised her single daisy toward the sky. The pop star also kissed the ground.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Congratulations. Now you have a severe bacterial infection. You went for 10 minutes. Can I just point that out again? You were in space for 10 minutes. This wasn't like a month-long ordeal or several months like actual astronauts go on like month-long expeditions and stuff like that. They undergo rigorous amounts of training and tests, and essentially just this is their life's work, right? And here you are coming in and being like, well, I'm an astronaut. Like, no, you're not. You're an embarrassment.
This experience is second to being a mom.
That moment, I was so afraid. I just wanted to get into my seat. I never in a gazillion years thought I could do this.
Never thought I could do that. Now, what exactly did you do? Take a 10-minute joyride? Take a 10-minute taxi ride, essentially? This is like something people go and do for fun. Let me go experience zero gravity. Like, a literal 10-year-old could do this shit any day of the week. Here's the facts. The rocket was not made by you. It was not operated by you. It has nothing to do with you, in fact. In fact, all of the people that worked hard on this are nowhere to be seen. In fact, you will never see them. I have no idea who actually flew the thing. Obviously they're not in the driver's seat, driving the rocket or anything like that. There's people behind the scenes controlling it, obviously, who actually did the calculations to make it land flawlessly and make sure that this was a completely safe thing to do. It's actually infuriating how our society essentially just never focuses on the people who actually deserve it and gives all the praise to clowns like Katy Perry here, who are just idiot celebrities who are going on joyrides and actually deserve none of the praise, actually. I feel like this is like going to Universal Studios, going on a roller coaster and being like, well, that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. And also, I kind of saved the human race here, so you better be thanking me. Now, prepare yourself. We're gonna watch Katy Perry's interview here. And yeah, this is some omega cringe. She talks about like divine feminine energy or some like signs from the heavens or something. Like, you are not the chosen one, man.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. You are officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
On behalf of the entire human race, Katy, you are not. You are not an astronaut. Please stop calling yourself that. You will never be an astronaut. I don't care if that's what the definition says or if you fall under that or whatever. I don't think this qualifies to be an astronaut. There's a very different picture I have in my head for that. Someone who is, devoted their life to this kind of stuff. So I don't know. I wouldn't put you in that group. Anyways, it wasn't enough that they had to put a bozo celebrity on one of these, but they had to choose someone who's completely off her meds. Like, look at what she's yapping about.
I feel super connected to love. So connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you, like how much love you have to give, and how loved you are until the day you launch.
How is this related to love? What are you actually saying? I have no idea. Like, I've replayed this clip a million times trying to sort of understand what she is saying, but I just don't get it. There's a bunch of NPCs clapping in the background if you can hear them or whatever, but I just don't understand. What did she mean by this? What love are you referring to? Then she talks about how her 4-year-old daughter is very proud of her. 4 years old, by the way. She does not know what the hell you just did. And if she did, she would not be proud. I'm just saying.
The rocket's going up, and she was so proud. Just kept saying, "Mommy, mommy." And I know you'll feel the same way when you watch it. And you brought a real-life Daisy up.
That's
it was
right.
important for you, not only because it's your daughter's name, but why else was that important to bring it?
Daisies are common flowers, but they grow through any condition. They go through cement, they go through cracks, they go through walls. They are resilient.
Wow, so brave. Truly legendary, actually. I think we need to crown Katy Perry as the greatest astronaut of all time, actually. In fact, she's a philosopher as well. What with those insights about daisies, I mean, you probably wouldn't get it. You're too stupid. Sit down, Socrates, you fool. We're listening to Katy Perry, of course. Now, this next part is hilarious. She basically says that, she's giving women a spot while actively taking spots from women.
I think that it's not about me. It's not about singing my songs. It's about a collective energy in there. It's about us. It's about making space for future women and taking up space and belonging. And it's about this wonderful world that we see right out there and appreciating it. This is all for the benefit of Earth.
Well, you definitely got one thing right. It is definitely about taking up space, particularly from anyone qualified for the job.
You have done so many incredible things in your life, selling millions of records, selling out stadiums. Where does this experience rate for you?
This experience is second to being a mom.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. And that's why it was hard for me to go, because that's all my love right there. And I have to surrender and trust that the universe is going to take care of me and protect me, and also my family and my daughter.
Yes, of course, Katy, you are the chosen one. The universe actually protected you. You are the main character. Obviously not the scientist that did the 5 bajillion calculations to have the rocket go up and land down safely. Not them, of course. I don't even know their names. In fact, we'll never know the names. We only know Katy Perry. Now, after this, she talks about the heavens giving her a sign. This is like the most stereotypical crazy astrology girl I've ever seen.
Even down to the name of, like, the capsule
being tortoise. I know you spoke to all of your fans about that the capsule's named tortoise, the feather on the side, that, you know, the symbol of Blue Origin, all of those gave you confidence that this was the right thing for you to do, correct?
Yeah, because I just asked for a sign from the heavens, from my angels, and they're like, well, here's the feather, which is what your mother calls you, and if that's not enough, the capsule's named Tortoise, which is the second nickname that your mother calls you. And I'm like, okay, I'm going. Yeah. I got the message, and I'm gonna get the message.
And the capsule's name is Tortoise. A wave, just the most energetic wave, just shot through my body, and I was like, whoa, what? This capsule's name is Tortoise? My mom calls me 2 nicknames, Feather and Tortoise.
Well, you see, guys, my Scorpio actually just aligned with my moon cycles, and then the tide with the names and the... Oh, you don't understand? You're an idiot. You're probably an idiot. You don't get it, huh? The name of the capsule matched the nickname my mother gave me that I probably made up. This is just beyond you. My vibrations are beyond your understanding, fool. You blundering baboon.
There are no coincidences, and I'm just so grateful for these confirmations, and so grateful that I feel like something bigger than me.
Did she just pull a Master Oogway? There are no accidents. There are no coincidences. There's no way. There's no way. She lifted that straight from Kung Fu Panda.
How would you describe the moment when you took off and then the moment you landed?
The moment, I mean, it is the highest high, and it is surrender to the unknown, trust.
Yes, the level of trust needed, kind of like everybody does every day when they're getting into an Uber driver with a stranger driving their car, or when they go to a restaurant having a stranger prepare their food. Like, you have to trust people, and that's just how you get around in society. And you acting like you're doing this absolutely crazy thing that nobody would dare do is just so insane to me. Also, I just gotta point out again, Jeff Bezos' wife was in the craft with you. There was no reason to worry ever. There is no way he would put his wife there. And let's not forget, she had a sign from the heavens, guys. There was no reason to worry. In fact, this is probably easier to do than me getting inside an elevator, because an elevator has probably been tested like hundreds of times or something like that. But a rocket's calculations probably been tested a bajillion times just to make sure. Also, there's a bunch of billionaires on there, so you can't have them dying or your family's gonna get sued to hell, right? So I don't know. I feel like you are much safer in this goddamn rocket.
I couldn't recommend this experience more. This is like up there with all the, different tools that I've learned in my life, from meditation to the Hoffman process. This is up there because what you're doing is you're like really finding the love for yourself, because you got to trust in yourself on this journey.
Can anybody at all tell me for the life of me what the is she saying, dog? What the hell? Also, I love how she's like, oh yeah, everybody should try this. Everybody should do this. Yeah, don't worry, Katy. I'm about to book my flight to space real quick. You do realize this was a flippin' exclusive group. Like, it's because you're multi-millionaire famous that you're allowed to do this shit. We can't just book a trip to space. It's just, that's not how it works. We don't got the funds for that.
And then you're feeling the love when you come down, for sure. And you're feeling that strength. So I feel really connected to that strong divine feminine right now.
By the way, you're such a badass. I love that the month of April, you're like, I'm going to space and I'm launching my tour. I mean, it's really incredible. Now I know I'm asking this question for your fans. Will you write a song about this experience?
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Okay, maybe I'm too stupid for this. What does divine feminine mean? What the fuck? Like, where is she coming up with this stuff? Honestly, like, I need to meet a therapist, because how do you deal with this? How, Jesus Christ. Like, okay, I know there's gonna be a bunch of angry people in the comments because I'm criticizing Queen Katy Perry here. Listen, you can like her music. I'm not even gonna say it's bad. Okay, there might be some good tracks in there or whatever, but you can't argue that she has above room temperature IQ. Come on. I mean, come on. If we send these kind of humans to space and these are the first people that actually contact with the aliens, we're screwed. We're screwed, bro. They're gonna instantly assume we're the dumbest species ever. They might just wipe us out like these people aren't worth saving. I mean, she's talking about divine femininity. What the hell is that? Anyways, we gotta check out some reactions from the people. They're not astronauts. Quit saying they are. It's the equivalent of going in a cab as a passenger and saying you're a cab driver. They aren't crew, they aren't astronauts. They're rich chicks who paid a hefty sum to subsidize Blue Origin. This is beyond tone deaf. Meanwhile, all of us peasants are worried about feeding our kids and making it to the next check. No, don't worry. Just take a joyride to space. Interesting how these same people will preach about climate change. Listen, I don't know, like, the environmental impact of a rocket launch or whatever. I imagine it releases a lot of, like, harmful gases and shit like that. But anyways, these celebrities, regardless, take, like, a private jet every other day or something, and then they yap about the environment. Like, absolute omega hypocrites. Meanwhile, average Americans can't afford groceries or basic necessities. This video is completely tone deaf. Wait, why are we sending up a bunch of rich celebrities in space again? Hopefully to never see them again. I'm embarrassed that the entire world viewed this. Not only is this an insult to women, it's especially insulting to women who worked hard to become true astronauts. That's what I'm saying, man. It's ridiculous. I just want affordable healthcare. Calling them astronauts, a flight attendant in the 1950s had more training. Actually true. Asking from curiosity, what did this accomplish? Absolutely nothing. Probably promotion for a Blue Origin or whatever. What did this do for Americans who can't afford eggs? No, don't worry. You can go buy Katy Perry's new album about this experience. This is all about learning how to trust in yourself, she says, while sitting there and looking out the window, doing nothing, in a vehicle that thousands of people have worked on over the course of years that an entire team launched, flew, and landed the vehicle for her. Wow, what a perfect comment to encapsulate what just happened there. Connected to love, I'm cringing. What is she going on about? Small step for man, giant leap for vain celebrities. Anyways, some other celebrity responded to the situation.
That space mission this morning, that's end time shit. Like, this is beyond parody. Saying that you care about Mother Earth and it's about Mother Earth and you're going up in a spaceship that is built and paid for by a company that's single-handedly destroying the planet. Look at the state of the world and think about how many resources went into putting these women into space. For what? For what was the marketing there? And then to try to make it like, I'm disgusted, literally, I'm disgusted.
Yeah, kind of just saying the same thing we've all been saying. But yeah, that's it. Click this video for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.